Good morning, dear student. Welcome back. Let's start with the topic, the last lesson, which has been taken from the Flamingo. Well, the last lesson is the story written by Alphonse Daudet, who is a French novelist and a great story writer of his time, and he has written this story during the war, and when there was a war between Prussia and France, and the France was crushed very badly by the Bismarck-led army. As everyone knows, Bismarck was a great leader and a great commander of his time. He crushed them very badly. And so this is the story which has highlighted the issue that how the people lived their life during the war and what kind of impact and the effect life had, especially in the school, especially on the student and the public in general. So we here will discuss about a the teacher whose name is Hamel, and Hamel was a teacher of French, and he teach and taught the French in the schools. Because the French district of Alsace and Lorraine was won by the Germany and won by the Prussia, so they want to introduce their language on that part of area in that territory, especially of the Lawrence and Alsace. Here, the little student named Franz introduced and narrated this story and said that one day I was very late for the school, and Mr. Hamel had asked and told us to learn the rules on participle, but I didn't know the first word of it. And when I was going to the school, I saw that there is a great chances to have some fun because the weather was so good to take the joy. And he see that there is as the weather is good, so I can spend my day outside. There is a Prussian soldiers also who were drilling. It was much tempting than the rules on participle, and then he had the power to resist all this, and then he hurried off to the school. When he was passing from the town hall, he saw that there are many people in front of the crowd in front of the bulletin board, and he was thinking that what can be the matter now? What could be the news now? Because all the bad news has come from there for the last 2 years. So the commanding officers order and droughts losing and winning battle also. All these kind of news will come from there. The Bacter, who is the blacksmith, along with his apprentice, was also there, and he said. That babe, but don't so run fast. You have plenty of time to reach at the school. When I reached at the school, I saw that there was something unusual. I saw that there was a dead silence. Usually, when school started, there was a hustle and bustle, but today it was really very, the calmness there. Otherwise, opening and closing of the textbooks can be heard out of the street, and other hustle and bustle can be heard out of the street, and even Mr. Hamel's iron ruler's voice can be heard out in the street. But today it was dead silence. I saw my friend from the window that he was already in their own place. I had to go in front of everybody. Nobody can, nobody can think that how were frightened and how you see the kind of blushing that time I had. But surprising thing was that Mr. Hammer didn't scold me. He very gently and very kindly said, Mr. Franz, come hurry and take your seat. We were beginning without you. And afterward, I saw that he not much time has passed that I noticed that he has put his beautiful suit, which he very rarely put on and wore only on inspections and prize distributions day. And after some time, I become so shocked to see the villager at the back benches, which always and usually remained empty. I saw that Mr. Oldhauser is there, former mayor, former postmaster also, all are there. I was shocked to see them. And then Mr. Hamel stood up from his chair with very great and profound. You see, he looks so profound and he looks so tall with his seriousness. You see, when he mounted up from his chair, he announced that this will be your last lesson, and order has come from the Berlin that the new master is coming today. So this will be your last lesson on French. So I want you to be very, very, very attentive. What a thunderclap these words were. All the question that was running in his mind ultimately comes to an end. That was the questions that why he has put on his new suits and why villages are here, And why such calmness and the silence is here in the school? These were the questions, some questions running in his mind, and ultimately come to an end. And then he was feeling sorry, how he didn't know anything about he didn't know how to write. He was feeling sorry for those books and sorry for his the way he taught us everything, and he forget his iron ruler, and he forget all about his cranky natures, and how cranky and how bad tempered that man was. And he was feeling very sorry that he had not he will be unable to see him again in the futures, because he will go from here forever. And then he realized, yes, that's why he has put on his new suit to give honor to, and in the honor of this last lesson he has put his west suit. And that's why those villages were there to show the respect for this man who has served here for the 40 years. In the meantime, what happened, I heard the name because this time it was my turn to say about the rule of participles. But it was a tragedy that I couldn't say a single word. I mixed up the first word of that participles. Although I have to told about that very clearly and loudly without making mistakes, but it was a tragedy that I couldn't do, and I couldn't say anything about that. And the surprising thing was that when he didn't scold me, he said very kindly again that I will not scold you. You are not the worst friends, because we ourselves, okay, we should reproach ourselves for this. Because the first of all, your parents are there who always put you to the work to earn some money. They do not bother to learn you. And as far as concern about me, I also is responsible for not knowing your language. You know how? Did I not give you holiday when I want to go for a fishing? Did I not send you to watering in my garden? I'm also responsible. So you yourself don't think. But tragedy is that we always, and the Alsace for Lawrence extended their learning for the next, and they deferred it, that they always put your work for the next, that I will do it, I have a plenty of time, I will learn it later. But this is the issue, and today they have the right to tell you that yes, they German can tell you that you can't pretend yourself that you are the French. What kind of Frenchman are you? You do not write your language, and not even you do not have the right to tell yourself Frenchman. You can't pretend yourself as a Frenchman. You do not write, and not and nor can speak your own language. So this is the tragedy with us. So you your teachers, your parents, all are responsible for all these things. And then one thing to another, he said, and he told about our language, that the French language is the beautiful, most logical, and the clearest language of the world, so you should guard of it. Because as long as you hold fast to your language, it will be like a prison's key to you. So you should guard it, you should preserve it. As long as you are stick to your own language, it definitely will help you at the direct situation when you are in the you are in a danger. At that time, if you know your language, you will come together and can raise the voice against that. And surprising thing that very surprisingly, whatever Mr. Hamel was telling us that day, I got it very easily. It was so easy. So I was thinking, either Mr. Hamel has not told us with that much patience, or explained that much patience, or I had not heard him with patience, and the kind of way we should learn in the classroom. Either he has not told us with such and with that much patience, or we have, and I had not listened him carefully. So that day, I noticed that Mr. Hamel, before going away from this place, leaving this place, he want to give everything to us, and whatever he knew, he want to put in and thrust in our mind with one single action and with single stroke. And afterward, there was a lesson on writing also, and he had carried that a very beautiful books, a beautiful notebook for us, and it seems so beautiful. And Alsace Lorraine has written with the round hand therein, and it looks like the little flags are floating everywhere in the class, in the school, school room, hang from the rod at the top of the desk. So everyone was so busy, and when once little Whittle came in, nobody noticed toward that. Nobody, किसी ने भी उसकी ओर ध्यान नहीं दिया. So everyone was so busy. It seems that this also is doing, actually they are learning the language, the French language. In the meantime, what happened that I saw that Mr. Hamill, whenever I got the time to look up, whenever I look that time, Mr. Hamill was so calm, and he was very profound, very grave. The seriousness can be seen over his the face. So one more thing happened during that time when everyone is busy. I heard the pigeon sound from the roof. That time I was thinking, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons? Actually, this is not possible for anyone to take away your mother tongue. Any foreigner, any invader can impose their language on you. They can impose their own language. Like India is the living example. All the British came here and they imposed English here. Although in the later time, in future, it proves blessing in disguise for us, because English is the international language, and for the interaction purpose, it proves very helpful to us. And the same way here, but the German will be the language here. They can impose their own language on us, but they cannot take the love of our own tongue away. Right. And then, whenever I look up from my work and writing, I saw Mr. Hamill was very motionless, sitting motionless, and in his chair, looking one thing to another. It seems that he want to fix everything in his mind before going away from here. He was feeling so sorry. Having and leaving this place, because he was here for the 40 years and he has seen much in this 40 years. There was a little garden, there are many things that has changed much, but little has changed, although the classroom was same like was 40 years before. And one thing that was born, that was get old, that was the bench and desks that worn old. It won't smooth, and the garden in front of that window has changed a bit, because the walnut the tree, it has grown very tall as now, and that has reached up to the roof. And next one is the hope that he himself has planted many years ago, is twinned to the roof. And now, in the meantime, because her sisters were packing his luggage and all, the voice and the sound come from that. But this man had the courage to do anything till last. So, although we were feeling very sorry that this man is going to, and not only we and everyone was very, very sad. I have. Hearing this idea that he is going to leave, but he also had the great great dare to listen each and everything till end. And this man was for 40 years here and serving this country and serving and teaching this language, and he had a great patriotic zeal to the language, and he taught us that how we should value everything in time. Actually in time. So we should care of each and everything. We should preserve our language. We should respect our the time. When we have the time, we should value each and everything and do not take things granted. And so, but he had the courage to hear every lesson to the very last. And after that writing, we had a lesson on writing. Every children and small babies were busy in chanting the baby boo. And down there at the back of the room, old Hauser, who had now put on his spectacles. Oh, actually, he was feeling so. He also was the chanting the same with those babies, and his the chanting appears so funny. He was crying, and having been seen that he was crying the way he was crying, everyone feels so. We also want to cry, but the way this man was the crying, we also want to laugh. Okay, the scene was so bad, and then it was so good, and how nicely I remembered that last lesson. In the meantime, the church clock struck 12, and at the same time, the Prussian soldiers who were drilling there, just at the back of the field in an open space and open place, and they returned from their drillings just front of the windows. Under that windows they come, and their trumpet was ringing, and the voice of that trumpet was coming that they are returning from that, and now church also has struck their 12. Now it means the class was almost over. And he mounted up from his chair. He stood up his chair very grave and very seriously. And he said, actually, he wanted to say something, but he couldn't make his statement continue as, something, his throat choked. He couldn't speak, and he cannot make his statement continue. And finally, he stood up and turned toward the blackboard and take a piece of chalk, and as large as he could write over the blackboard, France, the France Zindabad. And after that, because he had not dare to speak anything and to face us at this crucial hour and at this crucial moment, he only waved with his hand that yes. And actually, he made the gesture of dismissing the class. He said, "That class is dismissed. You can go now." France Zindabad. So here, the very important thing is in the first the lesson. Actually, the name of the lesson is the last lesson. That was the last French lesson. Here he delivered to the French students, because this area has conquered by the German, and German want to introduce their own language. So they instruct and they issue the order to and forced to leave the schools of Alsace and Lawrence, as they want to introduce the German language in place of the French. So Hamel here let them realize how precious their language is to them. How actually for everyone the language is very precious, very important to everyone. So at time, when we have a time, we should value everything, especially the time. The time is the great destroyer and a great preserver. So when you have a time, you should value each and everything. As far as concerned about the language is basically really the belonging. So we should feel proud of our language, but more important is its conservation, its preservation. So have a nice day.